And I hope for anyone out there who is listening, if you are currently still feeling like there's no one who really gets you, I want you to know that I get you. And I mean that so deeply and so truly. Even though our experiences are going to be different, I understand your essence. I understand what it is like to be you in the sense of being an other. I get you. I see you. I feel you. And I just want you to know that you are not alone on your walk. What's up, you guys? Welcome to another entry in the Solitude Diaries. Today, we're going to speak about identity. And this is such a loaded, heavy kind of topic because your identity is literally who it is that you are. And for literally like every single one of us, we have been programmed from the time we were little babies to who it is that we were supposed to be. And the supposed is everything that's been put on us by society, by our parents, by the people around them, by our friends, by our work institutions. We have so much that's being thrown at us, telling us who it is that we should be. And the truth of that matter is only we can discover self for ourselves. And that is a big part of what the spiritual journey is. It's a big part of what the healing journey is. It's really about a return back to self and a remembering of self. Because along the way, you just forget who it is that you are and you become disattached from who your soul knows that it is. And you have all of this programming and all of this information that is being thrown at you, telling you who you should be. And the journey that we walk on is our journey to discovering, actually rediscovering who it is that we actually are. So lately, a theme that's been coming up in conversation with me and a few of my friends is this concept of having been the other in their life. And this obviously is going to look different for everyone, but for those of you who have ever felt like you just did not belong, you just never felt like anyone understood you, you never felt seen, you never felt heard, this is really for you. And I understand who it is that you are because I am one of you. I have been the other in my life, and I know what it feels like to want to hide, to not want to stand out, to just want to be like everybody else. So my upbringing, I was born in the Bronx, and obviously the Bronx is going to have culture. There's going to be Black people, there's going to be Spanish people, there's going to be a mixture of different type of ethnicities that are existing in this space. And that is what I grew up in, and that is what I knew for the first 6-7 years of my life. After that, we moved to New Jersey, and we moved to a small suburban town, very, very white. On top of that, I went to Catholic school. So from second grade all the way through high school, my experience was Catholic school experience. And particularly when I was in the grammar school age and middle school age, I was literally like one of the only Black people. There was like a handful of us, if even that. And especially when I first started, I was the only Black person in my class. And coming in and coming from a place that had so much culture and had people who really looked like me, this was such a shock and it was such a shift for me. And now I was in this space where I felt so different from everyone around me. And that's because I was. Physically, I was completely different from the people I was around. I was brown skin, I had different hair, my nose, my lips, my ears, my body type, everything about me was so different from all of the people that I was around. And I felt like such a freak. I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to conform. I did not want to be different. I wanted to be just like everyone else who I was in class with. And obviously, I could not change and shift my physical being. I couldn't do that. There was really nothing that I can do to shift anything about myself. And so what happened is I just started to hide. I started to mask. And it's crazy because it's not something that you're even consciously aware that you're doing. You just kind of fall into it because you're trying to protect yourself. You go into this mode where everything is just about keeping you safe. That is what your body knows how to do, is what your mind knows how to do. It is self-preservation. And that is what I fell into. And being in that space and navigating in that space for such a long time of feeling so different from everyone else, of never feeling desirable from the opposite sex, because obviously no one liked me. That was just what it was. And if they did, it wasn't known. They would have never said anything. So you start to feel like something is wrong with you. You start to feel that who you are, just innately, just who I am, is not good enough. And then everything around you is really just perpetuating that belief. You're seeing the people on TV and they don't look anything like you do. You're seeing all the people in your class, they don't look anything like you. You're seeing the girls who the boys are liking and they're nothing like you. And you just feel out of place. And then high school came. And I went to a Catholic high school, but even in that setting, there was still a very slim number of Black people. It was not a lot of us, but this was obviously so much more than what I had experienced in elementary school and middle school. So now I'm in this setting where I get to be around people who look like me. But even still, I felt so different from them. My ethnicity is of Caribbean descent. My family is from the West Indies, and I am firstborn generation in America, a product of immigrant parents. And so my upbringing culturally was very different from those who I went to school with. And so even now amongst people who looked like me, I still felt like the other. I still felt like I didn't fit in because I didn't understand or know the cultural references. I didn't understand or know the ways of which they moved and the ways in which they believed certain things. All of this stuff was new to me. And so now I'm in this situation where, again, I'm just trying to fit in. And I didn't. I masked and I was able to navigate through my high school experience and made a lot of mistakes and got hurt a lot emotionally in the process. And throughout it all, I just always felt like I just don't belong. I felt so out of place, and I didn't know how to really be with these people or amongst this group of people. And yet they accepted me. And so I felt like, okay, I needed to be like them or learn about who they are and learn about this culture. And so that was a lot of my first experiences being around Black people as someone who didn't feel like I was, quote unquote, Black enough. And then you add in the fact that I had a lot of white culture influence because that is what I knew and that is what I grew up in. And so you're exposed to certain things. I was exposed to different types of music when I was younger. I was exposed to different movies and TV shows and just these different cultural things for white people that now me as a Black person felt like I couldn't display those things because I was already different from the Black people that I was around. And then it became a thing of being white or being called an Oreo or being called a Black white girl. Like that was a lot of what my experience was like. And so you are existing in this space where you just literally feel like, who am I? Like seriously, like who am I? I don't even know who it is that I am, and I don't know where it is that I belong. And a lot of my journey has been healing that part of me. And I know that this is something that is going to continue to be one of the themes that I'm navigating through is this sense of identity and really feeling safe and confident to stand in who it is that I truly am. And I'm so grateful to be in a space where I feel really sure about myself and I feel really confident about myself. And I know that I was never meant to fit in. Like that is just really all it is. For all of us out there who have ever felt like the other, who never felt like they belonged and never felt like they fit in, it's because we weren't supposed to. We were never made to fit in. Part of our story is us being others. It is us being on the outside skirts of things. It's us being innovative and being unique and being quirky and multifaceted and embracing that multifacetedness. Because I started to realize what was happening for me is that I was in these situations and basically I was trying to conform to fit into a box. This is how the white people were that I was around. How do I try to conform to fit to be like them? Now I'm in this space where I'm around Black people. How do I conform to try to fit in with them? And I was really neglecting the multifacetedness of me, of our being, really of all of us, because we all are multifaceted. We are not just one thing. But so much of our programming really forces on us to like pick something, be in a box, be cookie cutter. This is how you do it. You don't deviate from what the order is of things. And I just never fit into that because I was never supposed to fit into that. And if you're watching this and what I'm saying is really resonating with you, then I can pretty much almost guarantee, I could bet like $1,000,000 that you were not created to be like that either. And that is why we've always felt off and different. Because deep down, we always knew the multifacetedness that exists within us and exists within all beings. And our souls were literally like screaming out, this is not who you are. But at that stage in life, you don't really know any better. You know, you're just going along with what you think you should be doing and following along with it and following through with it until one day it's like your soul just has had enough and it is literally screaming at you that you cannot do this anymore. You cannot try to be someone that you're not. And you need to embrace all of the wonderfulness that exists within you and everything that makes you who it is that you are. Because the best thing that we can do for our world is to stand in the truth of who it is that we actually are and not trying to be who we think we should be. It's such an act of liberation. It's such an act of revolution to stand in your differences and to stand in your uniqueness. Especially when everything around you is trying to get you to conform. Everything around you is trying to get you to fit into a box. The way that you seek your freedom is by deciding that you are not going to be placed in a box. And therefore, I can like this, I can like that, I can like this, I can like that. I can like a million things that don't quote unquote fit into who society and the people around me think I should be. As long as I know that I'm staying true to me and that this is what feels good and right and yummy and juicy in my soul, then I know that I am in alignment and I know that I'm walking the right path for me. And that's really all that matters. That is how you stand in your power, is by deciding that you are not going to be who anyone else thinks you should be. You are only going to be who it is that you are. And I hope for anyone out there who is listening, if you are currently still feeling like there's no one who really gets you, I want you to know that I get you. And I mean that so deeply and so truly. Even though our experiences are going to be different, I understand your essence. I understand what it is like to be you in the sense of being an other. I get you. I see you. I feel you. And I just want you to know that you are not alone on your walk. You are courageous and you have everything in you that you need to have in order to live the life that you want to live. And the first step in that is really starting to embrace all of the uniqueness that exists within you. And I promise it is going to be a freeing experience once you step into the being that you were created to be. Well, that's all I have for today. And I'll catch you guys next time on the Solitude Diaries. Till then, bye.